Oh, it's a cold morning in the shop. We do not have a heater in this shop, and it is a little cold outside. Clean my hands off real quick. Whew. We got a bunch of steaks to cord wrap this morning. I got some basic steaks we're gonna cord wrap first, and then I've got a big honking hammer steak with a hammer. We're gonna do. There's a hammer. We're gonna do those. Got a set of prop daggers we're gonna do. I've got an actual Tongan Maori dagger made out of ipe we're gonna do, and we got a big old vampire hunter sword steak we're gonna do. And I got some stuff in the back there I'm gonna have to wipe down here in a little bit. And we're gonna get started with the steaks. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Got my scissors. Oh. Morning, everybody. Gonna get started on some steaks this morning. Got some vampire steaks. We're gonna cord wrap the handles on these. They're gonna get distressed later a little bit. Maybe these glasses on. These are going to get sold as 2 pairs. I'm trying to decide if I should do both daggers the same, or both steaks the same, or if I should have one with one wrap and one with a different wrap. I don't know. Probably the same. What do you guys think? Let's see. I got 4 of these to do. They're gonna get sold as 2 sets. Hey, what's up, Wade? Oh, thanks. Thanks. I like the no-brainer bat. That's a good time. Am I a trumper? No, I absolutely am not a trumper. No, not even close, my guy. No. No, I am not. No. That's an easy answer. Hey, what's up, Crazy Crunch? But yeah, Wade, I like the that no-brainer bat. It's one of my favorites. Really, I enjoyed making that one. That was a proof of concept that I did for a custom order. I had a guy who wanted a replica bat from the Days Gone video game, and I had never done a bat like that before. So I may sometimes, if I haven't made, if I get a custom order for something I've never done before, I'll do a proof of concept first just to make sure I can actually do it. Usually I can. But yeah, that one worked out. That one came out really good. I enjoyed that one. Right now, Crazy Crunch, I am cord wrapping the handles on some vampire steaks. My shop has the widest selection of vampire steaks on the internet, believe it or not. So I've got these basic steaks that I'm doing. These were from a cutoff from a job that I had earlier this week for my day job. These are going to get cord wrapped, and then after I get done here, they will get distressed and dirtied up so they look nice and used. Give them a little bit of that lived-in look. This, no, not a knife, just a wooden stake, just a stabby. I do have some prop daggers we're gonna do here in a little bit. We're gonna do the handles on. The prop daggers, those are made of okome wood, which is mostly used for props because it's soft and light. Do I have a son? I have one. Yes, I have a son. Yes, Liz, I have a son. I try not to really talk about my kids on here. I'm Nate. You can call me Nate or Nathan, either one. Crazy Crunch. I don't talk about my son. I'm not giving you my son's name. No, sorry guys. Nope. I don't talk about my kids' personal information on the internet. So no, we're good. But yes, I do have a son. If my kids want to share their information on the internet, that is a choice they get to make, not me. How old am I? I am old. I'm in my 40s. I'm an old man, late 40s. The coolest thing I've ever made? I don't know, man. That's a tough one. That's a tough one, Sawyer. I think probably the funnest thing I've ever made, I did a unicorn battle bat for B Sparksful a few years back. That was one of my favorite builds. I made a resin pink glittery unicorn horn that was embedded in the side of the bat, and it had an LED light in it with a switch so that the horn would light up. It was glitter purple bat with like a rainbow handle wrap. It was pretty cool. That's a no-brainer, right, Wade? Have I ever played Fortnite? I have. I'm not a big Fortnite player though. I am a avid Helldiver. I play mostly Helldivers 2. I have 3 jobs, so I don't have a lot of time for video games, but that's my one game, is Helldivers 2, which I play with my son on the weekends. Usually on Saturday, my son and I meet up on Helldivers 2, and we spread some managed democracy in the name of Super Earth. I don't play COD, no. Nah, Call of Duty's not really my jam. I played it once upon a time, but nah, I haven't played it in a really long time. Not really interested. Like I said, Helldivers 2 is pretty much the only game I play. Every now and then, if a really nice game comes out, like the newer God of War games, really like those, like BioShock Infinite. You know, if I find a game that I think is worth playing through, I will. But that very rarely happens. Helldivers 2 is my main game. Oh yeah, Halo. Halo was my first online game. Was Halo. I was in college. I had just gotten high-speed internet for the first time. Good God, you guys, I was so old. That was probably like 2003, 2004, something like that. And I got Halo, and that was my first time playing PvP online. It was awesome. Because I don't think a lot of people realize, like, at that time, if you wanted to do that kind of stuff, usually you did it with a LAN party. You know, you didn't really. But being able to just sit at my computer at home and play Halo against a bunch of other people, it was awesome. I was a big fan of Rockets Only Slayer because it was absolute chaos. The weirdest thing I've made, I don't know, man. I've made up so much weird stuff. I don't know. It's not weird necessarily. I had somebody when it was early on in my shop, probably about 3 years ago or so. They asked me to make a paddle, like a BDSM paddle, that was shaped like a barbarian sword out of oak. And I did. I made it. And then after I made it, the buyer disappeared on me. It took me a while to get that sword sold because it was such a niche item. But I don't know, like the weirdest thing, I've made so many weird things. Like, I don't know if there's a weirdest thing, but I would say that's the oddest maybe thing I've been asked to make. Especially considering the buyer just kind of disappeared after it was done. I finished it. That was back then. I didn't take deposits. I take deposits now on most of my custom orders, unless I've done business with the person before, because that was not the last time that happened. But you're 52? Wade, you remember all the goodies? Yeah. Hey, thanks, Sawyer. I appreciate that. I hope you have a good day, too. Thanks for hanging out with me. We got 2 more of these small steaks. Then we're going to do this big old freaking hammer steak and the hammer. We're going to do those, I think, with some natural jute. Kind of make them... I want that set to look a little older. I'm going to distress that set too. For vampire steaks, distressing just kind of makes it look a little less new, you know. With stuff like vampire steaks, I find that the less new it looks, usually the more popular it is. So I spend all this time making it pretty, and I finish it, and I have to try to make it ugly. Oh, hey, thanks for the subscription, Sawyer. I appreciate that. Thanks for the subscribe. And thanks for the likes, people. I appreciate the likes and the subscribes. Subs and likes are appreciated. Not a requirement, though. Oh, I'm doing all these cord wraps. I can already tell my hands are going to be cramping by the time I'm done here. After I finish this one, I got some stuff behind me I got to wipe down real quick. I tongue oiled some wasters and Boken on Friday, and then they got their second coat this morning. So I got to wipe those down. Make sure there aren't any bubbles in them. I got some Hickory Crusader wasters, a set of Oak Shoto that are probably going to get auctioned because there were just some issues with the wood. I don't trust them enough to sell them at full price, so they're all going to get sold at auction. They won't be guaranteed like most of my other, like all of my other Boken and wasters, but All of my bone and wasters in my shop that meet my QA standards are guaranteed for up to a year that they will not break under normal use. And if they do, I replace them free of charge. You don't have to return the old one. You just send me a message with a picture and say, hey, this broke. Tell me how it broke so I can figure out if it was the wood or if I had a mistake in my design. And I just send you a new one. No muss, no fuss. But when I have stuff that doesn't meet QA and goes on auction, it's not guaranteed sometimes. But I won't sell it at full price if I can't make the guarantee. All right, there we go. Here's another one. One more, and I'll go wipe down the stuff behind me. I had to move my coffee there. I'm gonna knock that over. Tell you, last Sunday I went live on TikTok and YouTube, and that was kind of a pain in the ass. So I'm back to just doing YouTube. TikTok kind of sucks, to be honest with you, with the live streams. And if you got any questions about what I'm working on or anything else, feel free to drop them in the chat. Help me be a little less bored while I'm getting this stuff knocked out this morning. That's the main reason I started going live, is my Sunday mornings are just kind of boring sitting here alone in my shop, cord wrapping handles and cording up Uwara and doing finishing work. It's a little tedious. So the live stream kind of makes me feel like I'm talking to somebody. Because as you may have already figured out, talking, probably one of my favorite things to do. I talk a lot. What are you guys up to this morning? Freaking early. Why are you guys up so early? Or late? I find that's usually who shows up to these live streams. If you're on the East Coast, you're usually up early. If you're on the West Coast, you're usually up late. So I think it's like, what time is it? It's like 4:50 in the morning on the West Coast right now. Oh, no, I wasn't talking to you. My watch thought I was asking it what time it was. Oh, thanks, Sawyer. Yeah, The Mandalorian. I love that show. I'm looking forward to seeing the movie when that's finally out. It's weird. I haven't heard anything about it in a while. Like, I heard a whole bunch of stuff about it, and then I never heard anything else. So hopefully it's coming out soon. But yeah, I love The Mandalorian. It's a good show. I feel like anything where Pedro Pascal is involved for some reason tends to be nice. I enjoy just about anything that guy's in. There we go. Now we've got 2 sets of vampire steaks. These will get distressed and then they'll go up on the shop later today. You can find the link to my eBay shop in my link tree in my bio here and on Instagram. I do have a website, warriorwoodandprops.com. It's not working right now. So please do not go there. But eBay, you can find me there. Or just message me anywhere on any platform and I'll get you taken care of. All right, let me get my glasses here. I gotta wipe some stuff down over here real quick. Yes, it's a sock. In case you're wondering. These are my broadsword crusader sword wasters. This particular ones that I've made this week are made from hickory. They come with a 1-year no break guarantee. If they break under normal use within a year, I will replace them. No returns required. Because my stuff does not break when it should not break. I am very careful with things like grain configuration. I make sure there are no sharp edges. I make sure balance is correct. They're not pretty, but they are easy to wield. They fit the weight and proportions correctly, and man, can they take a beating. Yeah, I hadn't made a Copus waster before, so decided to knock one out this week. This is a short one. I'm going to try to make a longer one next week, now that I've kind of got a feel for the profile. This is white ash. This will go up on the shop later today. And these are the short sword boken that are going to go on auction this week because they do not pass my quality assurance standards, and I don't sell things at full price that don't meet my shop's quality assurance standards. They'll probably go on auction for like $4.99, so as a set. So you get 2 bokens for $5 and shipping. That's really the only thing I charge shipping on are auctions, because I have to at least be able to pay the shipping. All right, now I've got to change to a different cloth. And this, so every year around Halloween, I make a limited run of limited edition steaks. And this is the steak for 2026. It's Ipe wood. It's got a bellied handle, conical tip, sanded up to 1,000 grit. So it is like a glass smooth finish. Ipe shows lint, so I try to use this lint-free rag on this one when I'm wiping it, so that it stays nice and clean. I don't want to get fingerprints in the tongue oil because it's not quite cured yet. So I have to be careful handling it. Hey, what's up, Josie? Vlad Tepes. What's up, Josie? Welcome. Good to see you again. You can always count on Josie. Josie, last week I think you were the only person who showed up when I did my double live. Here on YouTube, I think I only had like 16 people, which is crazy. Wipe. Yeah. Yeah, I had to wipe my wood. I appreciate you showing up though last week. That was weird. I don't think I've ever only had that. I never think I've ever had that few people on a live stream before. Not sure what was going on with that. Yeah, doing a live stream on TikTok just wasn't worth it. It was too much of a pain in the ass. And oh, you had to stay for a funeral. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Good to see you too. Traveling is always fun unless you have to do it for a funeral. It always seems that's never a fun way to have to travel. I got this big honking hammer steak with a hammer here. I'm gonna wrap these up with some natural jute. These are also gonna get distressed. This was again a cutoff from a job site, but I hate to see wood go in the trash, so I made a gigantic honking hammer steak out of this one. I just left the handle wide. It's got a bit of a knot right here in the handle, so we're gonna. That shouldn't affect it though, since it's just a prop. And it's gonna get covered up by this handle wrap here. This handle wrap, I think, is gonna take me a minute though. There we go. Make sure it's nice and tight. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a minute, folks. I may have overreached trying to cord wrap this long ass handle, but it's too late. We're committed now. We're in this till it's over, folks. My hands are not going to be happy with me about this. I'm sorry I'm constantly leaning in and taking my glasses off and on. I have terrible eyesight. Probably because I haven't gotten a new set of glasses in like 2 or 3 years. I probably need to do that. But there's two things I don't have a lot of. One is time and the other one's money. And I got to have both of those to go get new glasses. So you would think working 3 jobs I'd have more money at least. But not really. That's kind of life though, isn't it? All right. Hands need a little bit of a break. Oh, I know, dude. Glasses are expensive as shit. Even with insurance, and right now I don't have vision insurance, so And I have to get bifocals or possibly trifocals this time. Because my bifocals are no longer working for me, which is why I'm constantly taking my glasses on and off. Or the doctor's going to tell me that I'm too far gone for trifocals and bifocals, and he's going to tell me I need readers, which means I'm going to have to start changing glasses. But yeah, they're expensive. I thought about just buying a set of readers. But I don't know if I should do that until my doctor tells me I should. I don't know. I'm turning into an old man so fast, you guys. It sneaks up on you. Like one minute you're 29 years old and peak physical condition. Next thing you know, you're in your late 40s and everything hurts. I have so many old injuries. But I had fun getting all of them. Yeah, trifocals are a thing. I don't know that they use them very much anymore. My mom had trifocals for a little bit. I don't know. Maybe they aren't a thing anymore, but they are a thing that has existed. I think it's supposed to help you like you can look straight ahead and it helps focus, or you can look down and it helps focus. With bifocals, it's only down, so you have to kind of like tilt your head back to see through. Like if something's directly in front of you, you have to kind of tilt your head back to see through the bifocals. Or you could, when you have something like down, you have to kind of keep your head up when you look down through them for them to work. These are actually bifocals. You just can't tell because they're the special kind. They're kind of hidden in the lens. You can't tell that they're bifocals. Oh, I know, right, Shozy? Yeah, I slept kind of weird. Here's the thing. So, like, I did a lot of judo growing up, and my shoulders have kind of a mind of their own these days. Both of them have been dislocated multiple times in multiple directions. This one, the worst. But if I roll wrong in the middle of the night, I will dislocate my shoulder in my sleep. It's a horrible way to wake up, by the way. It's not as bad these days because I think it's gotten loose enough that it doesn't grind the nerve quite as bad. Still enough, though. Enough to wake me up. Holy shit. Yeah, that's the worst way to wake up. Is with your shoulder out, then I got to put it back in. Then I got to try to go back to sleep. Doesn't happen that often, but man, it happens enough. No, do not like it. Do not recommend. 0 stars. Yeah, it's no fun. I these days, sleep is kind of like, I take so much stuff to help me sleep. I take gummies and antihistamines and all kinds of stuff to help me sleep, because like I have scoliosis in my back, a slight S curve that's caused a bulging disc in my back. So if I lay on my back, I'm fine for a little while, but then after a bit, it starts to feel like someone's kind of like grinding a knuckle into my back. So then I turn on to my right side, and my right side's fine, but my right shoulder after a while will start to grind. So I'll wake up with that hurting. Then I'll roll over on my left side. Left side, shoulder's bad. And I have, I've broken all the ribs on this side from doing martial arts. And I have one rib that is displaced. It's outside of the rib cage, outside of all the other ribs. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but I'm holding it right here, the rib that's sticking out. So when I lay on my left side, my rib gets pushed on, and that pushes on my spine, and that makes my back hurt again. So then I end up back on my back side. I just spend most of my night, I'll sleep on my back for a couple hours, right side for a couple hours, left side for a couple hours, back for a couple hours. And I pretty much do that all night. It is a vicious cycle. I've been trying to get approved for back surgery, but I live in America where we have the worst freaking healthcare system in the world, just about. And my insurance company gets changed, it seems like, every year. And so by the time I'm about to get approved for surgery from one insurance company, I got to start the whole process over with a new one. It's like they want, and the new one always wants me to do the same shit the other one wanted me to do. Usually, which they want me to do 8 weeks of physical therapy. I've done physical therapy so many freaking times, it's not helping. But they're like, oh, but you did it with the past company. You got to do it with us now. Like, but I already did it. Yeah, but it wasn't through an approved person for our network. Like, all right, fine. It always seems to be the way of it. Hey, what's up, Corey? Number one at being the worst. Hell yeah, Josie. What's up, Corey? Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. We are cord wrapping the handle on a big, beefy hammer style vampire hunter steak. Now, when I say hammer style, it's not actually, I know that the hammer is a part of it. But the hammer style actually doesn't just come from the fact that it comes with a hammer. Hammer style refers to the old school hammer horror vampire movies from like the 70s. And I think even into the early 80s. Hammer House of Horror made all sorts of vampire movies. Oddly enough, with a lot of people from Star Wars. Like Christopher Lee, Vincent Price is there. Vincent Price, obviously not a Star Wars person, but when I was a kid, I got put in front of the TV a lot mostly by my father. He would just flip PBS on and leave it on no matter what time of day it was. And I don't think my dad was aware that PBS wasn't only children's programming. So like in the mornings, we would get, Sesame Street, Electric Company, all that stuff in the mornings. But by about lunchtime, we would have lunch, we'd come back in, the TV would still be on, and it wasn't kids programming anymore. It'd be like Murder Mystery Theater. Back then, they had a Kung Fu theater on PBS that we'd watch. Every now and then it would come on. My dad would come in, and my brothers and I would be going, "What's up?" Because we had watched Kung Fu movies. Doctor Who. And every now and then, for some reason, it was Oklahoma at that time, where I was living as a kid. And I think the PBS station was just showing whatever, but every now and then we get a Hammer House of Horror vampire movie. So yeah, there we go. This thing is a beast. It is a biggin. And then after this one's done, we're going to do these prop daggers. So I don't normally handle wrap the hammers, but I thought it might look good. So we're going to give it a shot, see how it comes out. I'm only going to do this little indent on the handle. The hammer, by the way, is made of European beech. Very strong stuff. It's a real beech. Get it? That was a great joke. I'm sorry. I apologize. That was terrible. That was a terrible, terrible joke. Come on. Get down there. There we go. Tee-hee indeed, Josie. Tee-hee indeed. I'm so clever. You know what would be fun if we had like a vampire themed. All right, take it easy, Josie. Thanks for hanging out with me. Appreciate it. I'll try to stay healthy. No promises. I was thinking it would be funny if somebody had like a restaurant that was like vampire hunter themed, and they called it like steaks well done or something like that. but they spelled it with the Takes. like the waiters would be like dressed up like Van Helsing, and you'd have like vampires, like vampire actors strolling around. So the waiters and the bus staff would have to protect the tables from the vampires. Oh, that might be too stressful of an environment to eat in, though. I feel like if you had just you would have me at Vampire Hunter Restaurant. Like, I feel like that's all you'd have to say, and I'd be like, yes, I will be eating there. Thank you. We've got this restaurant in Tampa that it's not a vampire themed thing, but it looks like, I swear to God, it looks like a vampire, the inside of a vampire's house from like a movie. I can't remember what the restaurant's called. We've tried to get reservations there a few times. We go to Tampa every summer for Tampa Comic Con, and every time we're there, we try to get reservations. We never can. Yes, the hammer for the hammer steak. These are gonna go together. This is just a pine cutoff. This is European beech, so it is actually a very strong hammer. And I will demonstrate its use once I get this handle finished here. One more round and we should be good. Got to be careful pulling on this jute cord because every now and then there's weakness in it. And I had something I was wrapping with jute a few weeks ago, and I went to pull and it broke. Oh God, I ended up having to redo the whole thing. Couldn't salvage it. There we go. And now we've got a hammer and steak set. Like this, fun tip with steaks. If you're going to steak a vampire, you gotta have at least 6 inches of stabbing tip to get like through the sternum and all the way into the heart. So with this one, you got more than enough. You got more than 6 inches. You got plenty. You could just steak this all the way through. It's for vampires, my guy. Mental. The steak is for vampires. These are I make probably the widest selection of vampire hunter steaks you will ever find anywhere on the internet. Just because I'm a dork and I am absolutely obsessed with vampires and vampire movies. I got a Nosferatu poster here. I got a Beware of Vampires thing behind me. I got a Buffy the Vampire Slayer poster on one side of my shop. I've got a Vampire Hunter D poster on the other side. I got a Monster Squad poster in there. I am obsessed with vampire hunter movies. Not like the sparkly kind. More of the like hunt them down and stake them kind. When I was a teenager, I have ADHD. I think that's pretty obvious. I got really hyper focused on vampire hunting. This was pre-internet, you guys. So like I had to go to the library, and the librarians at the Richardson Public Library in Texas, where I was living at the time, they probably thought there was something wrong with me because I was constantly looking for any books on like vampires and weird occultic shit. I would sit there in the library with like a table just full of books with a notebook, like taking notes on how to properly slay vampires. And I learned so much, you guys. Diddy the vampire. No, I'm good, Mental. Did you think I thought vampires were real? I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to give you that impression. No, vampires are not real, my guy. These are just props. These are for entertainment purposes only. Please do not stake anyone for any reason with my stakes. Thanks for that, Mental. I don't need medication, my guy. I'm already on medication. We're good. But like there are so many rules. If you look at like the old school Romanian lore, there's so many rules about staking vampires that we really don't like follow. You know, like for example, you don't stake vampires with evergreen wood. You never take the stake out. After you stake the vampire, you have to behead it and burn the remains. And then if you don't do that, if the vampire's body falls under the light of the next full moon, it will regenerate. There's all kinds of rules around staking and disposing of vampires and dispatching vampires. But movies never seem to follow them. I don't know sure why. You put these over in the finished area. We're going to get these distressed here later. But no, I'm fully aware that vampires aren't real, but I do appreciate you giving me the information. Thanks for that. Thank God you came along to tell me. And this one is a vampire hunter sword stake. This one's made of oak. It's been stained. Gave it a light stain. It's got kind of a fencer's look to it. I made another one similar to this one. That one had more of a regular like knife tip with a bladed edge. This one I just did as a regular vampire stake shape, just longer with a bellied handle so that it can be wielded similarly to a rapier. I know most my stakes are for like cosplay and stuff. What do you guys think for this one? I'm waffling between using black cord or the natural cord. What do you guys think? Help me make a decision. It's a hard choice on this one. I don't know. I think maybe the natural. What do you guys think? Natural or black? Black. Yeah. I find that black seems to be the more popular color when it comes to vampire hunting stuff, which I think tracks. I think that tracks. Ugh. Well, thanks for that, Twinkle. Some of y'all, these names I'm having such a hard time learning how to say. But thanks for helping me make a decision there, Twinkle. Oh yeah, I think black is gonna look good. Yeah, the other vampire sword I didn't stain it, I don't think. I think that one's just tongue oiled. This one I thought would look a little nicer with a stain since it's not really, I didn't blade it off like I did the other one. I just left it more of a regular vampire stake shape. And I may or may not distress this after I do this. I don't know. We'll see. See how I feel about it. Usually vampire hunter stuff, depending on kind of what it looks like, sometimes I distress it, sometimes I don't. Kind of depends on how shiny and new it looks. I feel like this one might be just a little too shiny and new looking for a vampire hunter stake. We may need to ugly it up a little bit. Vampires are real, just look at the lovely files, right? Oh, angry. These are just for people for entertainment purposes, my guy. Or entertainment purposes, my guy. Please don't calm down. We're not staking anybody. Everything's fine. People out here freaking out, thinking I'm ready to go out and start staking people. Calm down, everybody. We're all aware that vampires aren't real, okay? I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was giving people the impression that I thought vampires were real. Hey, thanks, Michael. I appreciate the sub. No, everybody take a breath. We all are aware that vampires are not real, that we're just having a good time. Take it easy. Please don't stake anyone with my stakes. I mean, I'll tell you what, if Aussie, if a real vampire ever shows up, I will try to record it. I will try to use it. If I have to use one of my stakes on a real vampire, I will try to get that recorded. Probably because I'm going to need that in court. Just know though, if you do come across a real vampire, don't never forget the rules, the old school staking rules, because don't trust what the movies tell you. You can't use a stake made out of evergreen wood. You need at least 6 inches of stabbing tip to reach the heart. Once you stake the vampire, do not take the stake out for any reason. And in order to finally dispose of the vampire's remains, you have to chop the head off and burn the remains to ashes. Somebody asked me the other day if you could use hydrochloric acid. Probably. I feel like that would take longer, and be more messy. But yes, you could also use, I think probably hydrochloric acid would also work. Right, read the files and tell me there are no vampires for sure. Hey, thanks, Ever Loving Outdoors. You have a blessed day too. Yeah, exactly, Angry. Yeah, I would need evidence because no one's going to believe me. I'm like, no, he was a vampire. Like, no. I read a really cool book that was by this indie author years ago. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember what the name of it was. It's a cool book where this guy basically encountered a zombie, was able to realize it was a zombie, and like caved its head in to protect his family because they were being attacked by a zombie. And he was arrested for murder because he had killed a zombie. And so he had to defend himself in court and prove that he didn't commit murder, that he had actually killed a zombie. It was a well-written book. I wish I could remember what it was called. It's kind of like a courtroom. It's like a zombie book, but also a courtroom drama. It was really well written, and I actually knew the guy, or met the guy that wrote it, and it sucks because like he found a publisher for it, and the publisher like went out of business like right after and left his book in like copyright limbo, and so the book's like out of print, and he doesn't know how to get the rights back so that he can finish or reprint it. It was such a good book though. I think that'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Sorry, I'm not calling you guys pigs. I'm just randomly quoting Babe for some reason. There we go. There we go, not bad. I know that it seems like I do the same friction fit wrap every time, and the truth is that I do, because it's easy to do, it's easy to replace, and it uses less cord, and it's far more reliable. So that's the main wrap that I do. Just a simple tuck under friction wrap. All right, so that one's done. Now we got our vampire sword here. For the vampire who prefers fencing. Vampire hunter, I should say, that prefers fencing. And then here, I got to do these prop daggers, and then I've got a Tongan. This one's not a prop. This is an actual dagger, like stabby dagger. This is a Tongan Maori design made out of ipe. Probably need to clean my hands first because I think I got a little bit of stain on my hand. That stain takes a few days to completely cure. It's been curing for about 2 days, but you can get a little bit of rub off, so it's always good to, just to be sure I don't transfer any of it. Always good to clean your hands up. I tell you, I buy so many of these freaking alcohol wipes. I'm trying to find something I can do with these stupid plastic cans. I hate single-use plastic stuff, but it's so hard to find things that I can use in the shop that don't come in freaking plastic. So one of these days I will figure out something I can make out of these so that I don't have to waste them and toss them in the trash. There's not much else I can do with them. All right, these are also going to get black handles. Now, my prop stuff, it is wood. Sometimes it's plastic, sometimes it's wood. But if I make props out of wood, these prop daggers, this is what's called a Okoume wood. It's O-K-O-U-M-E. Very common wood for making stage props because it is light, it's soft, it will break. If I were to like make a sword out of this and smack somebody with it, it would dent or break. You know, there's no sharp edges on it. You know, but on stage, these look like daggers. So, but they look enough up close, you can tell they are props, which is always what you want with a stage prop. You want it to look good on stage, but you want it to be identifiable as a prop up close. Now, if I'm doing props for something that needs to be on camera, I usually use plastic, and I use thinner profiles, slightly sharper edges. So this may not work. These may have to get tape wrapped. Yeah, there's too much contour in these handles. They're going to have to get tape wrapped, so that's fine. All right. So for a tape wrap, that's not going to be a long enough taper. All right, hang on. Pardon me while I get my shit together here. There we go. I hate cutting tape with these scissors because they're really nice scissors, but I can't find my razors this morning. All right. You get these wrapped up. This may or may not be long enough of a taper. I think it is, just barely. There we go. Now, when you're doing a tape wrap as opposed to a cord wraps you can go either direction, but with a tape wrap, you want to go from the bottom of the handle up. Because, hang on one sec, let me. There we go. Because when you're holding it like this, you want the overlap facing down so that when you're swinging, it's not rolling back up because this pulls against your hand. There we go. Simple, elegant. Okay, maybe not elegant, but simple and functional. There we go. See if I can get this tape flat. There we go. Stretch. Stretch, stretchy tape, stretch. Sure God, where in the hell are my razor blades? Give me 1 second. I think my razor blades, I think I might just have remembered where they are. This needs to go this way. Give me 1 sec. Well, I didn't find all my razor blades, but I found one razor blade. Here we go. Now, the reason I cut that taper into the end of the tape is so I can run this flat against the bottom, and the tape will already be moving at an angle. So that way it's a little easier to start the overlap. It makes that line where it overlaps a little cleaner. And this is just straight up hockey tape, you guys. If anyone's wondering. There we go. Now, I'm going to make just a slightly tapered cut. And of course I folded it. There we go. I was able to get that out. And there we go. I got a set of prop daggers. These will probably sell as a set on eBay, on the eBay shop. You guys are being quiet. What are you guys doing? All right, I put these up. I got one more thing to cord wrap this morning. Then I got time to do just a tiny bit of show and tell. And then I am done for today. Done, son. All right. And now I've got this tongue and dagger. I was thinking of doing black, but I think that's not gonna work. So went and unwrapped all this cord for nothing. Tucked in there. There we go. All right. So this is, like I said, a Maori or Tongan style of wooden dagger. First one of these I made was for a custom order for a client. They sent me a picture of it and asked me to make them a replica, so I did. I really liked the design. A lot of cultures that didn't have metal, wooden daggers were a very common thing. Usually made from very hard woods like ipe. I usually make these out of ipe or kumaru because those are very strong woods. Or Hawaiian rosewood. Hawaiian rosewood, very strong stuff. But yeah, these pahoa is the mainland Hawaii style. I don't know what these were specifically called, so I just called them Maori Tongan daggers. But I have impact tested the tips on these, and they're good for the stabby. But these are basically replicas of museum pieces. I have several different pahoa daggers on my shop already. These Maori style ones, for some reason, they seem to sell more. I don't know why. I guess because they're less expensive. They're a little easier to make than pahoa. But I've made these out of orange osage. I've made them out of kumru. I've made them out of ipe. A little lower on that. We don't want it to slip. There we go. But yeah, so I'm coming up towards the end of the live stream this morning. So if you got any questions, now is the time to let me know. Or if there's something you would like to see during the show and tell portion of today's live stream, I usually do a little show and tell at the end. Yesterday, after Saturday staining, I showed off the no-brainer axe bat. You can see the live highlight for that on my page. In my shorts. Well, not in my shorts. In my list of short videos. It's not in my shorts. It would not be a Warrior Wooden Props live stream if I did not at least once accidentally make a sexual innuendo. I feel like that's on brand for me at this point. I'm either stroking my wood. It's just, I can't help it, you guys. I swear it's not intentional. But yeah, you would be surprised throughout history how many cultures actually used just straight up wood daggers as like a secondary or tertiary weapon. The Cherokee had a fighting type of wooden dagger. Maori, Hawaiian, Polynesians, Australian Aborigines, they had a type of wooden dagger and sword. You know, when there's not metal, we're humans. We are hardwired for making weaponry because of our nice little opposable thumbs. So if there's not metal, somebody finally figures out how to properly sharpen and polish wood so that it works as a stabbing implement, a short one. And these wooden daggers are surprisingly effective, you guys. Like, I impact test them first on cardboard and then on wood. I have impact tested ipe and kumru. The tips hold up, you guys. If it'll hold up against wood, it'll hold up against people. But please don't use them on people. I would ask. Please don't commit the crimes. No committing of the crimes with my stuff. I don't want to end up on the news that way. That is not how I want to. I do not want reporters at my door asking me about this stuff because someone went and did something stupid with it. Don't mess it up for everybody. We're all having fun here. Oh, there we go. Hey, thanks for the likes, everybody. I appreciate all the likes and subs I can get. As you can probably already tell, not really a YouTuber, just a guy with a camera and a shop. Not really looking to become a YouTuber, but I enjoy being able to show off my stuff on the YouTube. So there we go. Now we have a nice Maori Pahoi dagger. That is sharp. But yeah, as you can see, it's got kind of a leaf edge geometry. It goes on the edge on both sides, and very good for getting between the ribs or up under the ribs. Good stuff. Hey, thanks for the likes, everybody. Appreciate it. All right. Well, you guys, that is my last thing, I think, today that I need to cord wrap. Let me make absolutely sure that I'm not forgetting anything. Then I gotta go spray paint a custom battle bat that I'm working on for a customer. Let's see, let me make sure I don't have anything else that needs to be cord wrapped. No, I don't. So I can show you guys what I'm going to be working on. I am doing a Kuromi themed barbed wire bat for a client's custom. I make custom battle bats of all types. And so it's already gotten this this plum colored spray paint. These are vinyl stickers that I put over in a diamond pattern. It's going to get a lavender purple paint over that. Then these stickers are going to come off and it'll have a cool little plum diamond pattern on the bat. Then I'm going to spray paint some barbed wire black. And black barbed wire is going to get wrapped around the end here. I'm probably going to go ahead and do the handle wrap before I do the barbed wire. And I'll put the barbed wire on. Then once the barbed wire is on, I am going to paint each individual barb on the barbed wire gold. That should be fun to do. You can't really do that until the barbed wire is on. Otherwise, you end up with gold scratches all over the stuff. And I don't want this bat to get scratched up. When it's done with the paint, I'm going to put a scratch-resistant clear coat over all of it so that hopefully the barbed wire doesn't scratch it too bad. It's almost impossible not to scratch it at least a little bit. But I'm hoping we don't get too many scratches on the barbed wire. And then it should finally be ready for the client. This client's been waiting for about a month or two for this one, so time for me to get it done. I usually don't take this long, but this particular build was a little complicated. This particular build, she wanted very specific color schemes and very specific kind of design, so it took me a little longer than normal. Most amount of time, my battle bats take about a week to 2 weeks to finish. This is an unusual circumstance that this one's taking me this long. It just kind of depends on how complicated your bat design is. Let's see. I will go grab a couple things out of the inventory room to show off. Be right back. I just grabbed a bunch of random shit, you guys. Here we go. Let me put all this down. Let me put this away so I don't mess this up. All right, so this... Stay put. All right. This is the other Vampire Hunter sword that I made. As you can see, this one's got a bladed edge on the top. The blade runs all the way down. It's got a clip point. And this one is white ash. And it's got a tung oil finish instead of stain. That's a fun one. And this is another popular stake design that I have in my shop. These are cross stakes. These are actually replicas of a stake that was in a 19th century Vampire Hunter kit. I had a client who had gone to an auction and that particular kit sold for like $5,000 and she did not win the auction. So she sent me pictures of the stakes that were in the kit and asked me if I would make replicas. I really liked this design, so I kept it and decided to make more of them. But yeah, so I got a little cross stake with a pyramidal tip and a little cotton cord wrap. This is a prop kukri knife. This is all plastic and paracord, but looks good on camera. It looks like a real knife on camera, but not real. Completely plastic. It's been distressed, so it looks like it's been, you know, battle worn a little bit. And this is an Okome stage prop sword. I keep these pretty basic, so that way people can modify them as they see fit for whatever production they're doing. This is just a basic broadsword Crusader sword design. It's made out of Okome wood, which is extremely light and will dent or break if you hit someone like in the head with this. The odds of you doing damage with this are pretty much zero. It's not a sharp tip. It's just painted Okome wood, but on stage, looks great. And then I'm not even entirely sure why I grabbed this, but this is a bat that it was never a custom order. I had a custom order for a smaller piece that was poop emoji stuff. And so when I bought the stickers for their stuff, there was only one way to buy the stickers, which was like a 50 pack. So I suddenly had a shit ton of poop emoji stickers. So I decided to make a poop emoji bat. So yeah, this is actually covered in rubber. It's a brown rubber coating all around the bat. The bat is not rubber. The bat is wood, but it's wood protected by a rubber coating, and it's got tons of poop emojis on it. And just in case you were wondering, yes, there is a scratch and sniff sticker on there. So if you want to smell it, you can also do that. I have no idea why I decided to make this horrible abomination, but I did, and there's no going back now. We're in this together, people. All right, let me put this stuff away. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want to see. If not, we'll wrap things up. All right, this is the last thing I want to show and tell. This is a practice spear. The spear tip is made from, I believe that's Kamaru wood. It's either Kamaru or Ipe. I can't remember. I have to go back and look, but I think it's Kamaru wood. 3,700 pound force Jenka hardness. If the shaft breaks, it's not hard to take this out and fit it to a new shaft. All you have to do is just cut a trench in the middle of it and carve it out. And but it comes with a shaft and a tip. That is the last thing I'm going to show off today, guys. That is already also up on the shop. I gotta wrap things up and go paint that bat that I showed you guys. I gotta get that started on the lavender paint, and I've got to put up all this stuff on the shop when I get home. Then I'm gonna watch a bad movie. You can always follow me here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram, NATRBROWN37. That is NatRBrown37 on Instagram. I am NatRBrown37 on most things. That is my gamer handle. That is my Gmail address. Not hard to find me in NATRBROWN37 at Gmail or anywhere else. I'm pretty easy to find. But that's gonna be it for me today. I'm gonna go home, finish my work by posting the stuff to the shop that needs to be posted to the shop, and then I'm gonna watch a horrible, probably 80s or 90s action film today. That is my plan, and then maybe later I'll get to play a little Helldivers, but we'll see. But that's it for me today. Hey guys, thanks for hanging out with me this morning. I really appreciate it. I will be, from here moving forward, Sunday finishing work will stay the same. I'll be doing it Sunday mornings at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. Saturday staining is now Sunday staining. I am no longer doing it on Saturday mornings. We're now doing it Friday afternoons. It's Friday standing, not Saturday standing. So Friday afternoons around 4 p.m. I will be doing my Friday standing work, but Sunday finishing work will stay the same at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. Thank you guys for hanging out with me early on this Sunday morning. I am out of here. I'm gonna go home and try to enjoy the rest of my Sunday. You guys try to do the same, and I'll see you next week. Take it easy, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.